Budman slapped with gun charges after St. James police operation. A laborer from St. James has been slapped with gun-related charges following an intelligence-led operation conducted at the Anchovy home last December. Charged with possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and dealing in prohibited weapon is 26-year-old Nicholas Palmer, otherwise known as Budman, of Mall Road in Anchovy, St. James. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that about 5:30 a.m. on Thursday, December 19, lawmen conducted an intelligence-led operation at his home, during which he was seen beneath the house with a one-strap bag swung around his chest. The police said he was accosted and the bag was retrieved. He, however, managed to escape. Lawmen later searched the bag and found two Glock pistols, one of which was fitted with a magazine containing 10 9mm rounds, while the other magazine contained 28 9mm rounds. The police said a follow-up operation led to Palmer's apprehension in Catherine Hall in the parish on Wednesday, February 26. He was taken into custody and charged a day later. A court date is being finalized for him. Kingston Western cops make arrest in 2023 murder. Continuous investigative work by the Kingston Western Police has resulted in a man being arrested and charged for murder committed more than a year ago. On Friday, detectives from the division slapped 25-year-old Ryan McFarlane, otherwise called Engine, from Oxford Street, Kingston, with several charges. McFarlane is charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and making use of a firearm to commit a felony. He was charged for the killing of 31-year-old Christopher Taylor of Woodrow Street in Jonestown, Kingston 12. Taylor was shot dead at the intersection of North and Oxford Streets, Kingston, on October 12, 2023. Reports are that about 1:54 a.m., Taylor was standing at the intersection when he was pounced upon by several men armed with firearms. The men opened fire, hitting him in the upper body before escaping on foot along Oxford Street. Taylor was transported to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead on arrival. Following an investigation, McFarlane was taken into custody by the police last Saturday. He was placed on an identification parade on Wednesday and was positively identified. He was later charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Man charged for trapping another with machete granted $300,000 bail. 20-year-old Nathan White, who is charged with using a machete to trap a man, was on Friday granted bail of $300,000, which were in the St. Catherine Parish Court. White, who is from Yorton, is charged with wounding with intent. Your Honor, my client acted in self-defense. He was at his home when he heard strange sounds outside the house. He armed himself and encountered the complainant, who ran at him. The complainant then suddenly sprung around when he was injured, argued his attorney, Kemar Robinson. White was ordered to report at the St. Anne's Bay police station on Saturdays. The case is set to return to court on May 16. Allegations are that on January 27, the complainant was walking through a pathway when he was alerted by a dog and ran off. He reportedly observed the accused man running after him with a machete. During the chase, the complainant fell and White allegedly began chopping at him. The complainant raised his left arm, which was almost severed. He was assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where he was admitted for treatment. The matter was reported to the Wharton Police Station, and an investigation led to White's arrest and subsequent charge of wounding with intent. JTA proposes teacher rotation model to address migration crisis. A recent survey by the Caribbean Center for Educational Planning, CCEP, has revealed that 49% of teachers who have migrated or plan to migrate claim that low wages was the primary reason for leaving Jamaica. In response to the crisis, the American University College alumni, MOSA, in collaboration with the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, held a panel discussion on Wednesday titled Securing the Future of Education in Jamaica, Confronting Teacher Migration. They used the event, which was attended by representatives from the Ministry of Education, to discuss factors that contribute to migration and how to address it. JTA President Mark Simmet highlighted that low salaries are a key driver of understaffed schools, particularly in specific subject areas. He pointed to Shortwood Teachers College, where only 2 out of 44 trained teachers in a recent cohort choose to stay in Jamaica. Dr. Tamika Benjamin, Assistant Chief Executive Officer at the Ministry of Education, acknowledged the need to address teachers' low wages for long-term improvement. In response to the CEPT survey, which found that 94% of the respondents believe that wages are the leading cause of the migration crisis, Benjamin said, "The wages are not the remit of the Ministry of Education. We negotiate, but at the end of the day, the decision is made at the Ministry of Finance based on affordability." Despite these challenges, Benjamin stressed the importance of finding a long-term solution to the salary issue, warning that without this, the teacher shortage would worsen. Teachers are critical, she stated, noting that there is need to find a creative pathway to improving wages over time. Simit cautioned teachers not to assume that teaching abroad guarantees a better standard of living. He noted that many countries pay poorly and as a result rely on teachers from abroad to fill vacancies. He also pointed out that teachers who migrate often lack legal protection, making them vulnerable to unfair treatment. Smith proposed that Jamaica consider multilateral agreements, creating a teacher training industry to produce more teachers than the country needs, and form partnership with countries that require teachers. He suggested that small island states, in collaboration with the United Nations and UNESCO, could move away from the exploitative model in wealthier nations. Veteran teacher Richard Chin shared his frustration over salary discrepancies, noting that after returning to Jamaica with over 20 years of experience teaching in the UK, he was paid the same salary as a newly graduate teacher. Chin stated that proper recognition for his expertise might have led him to stay in Jamaica. "I'd have over 20 years of experience, and when I started teaching again at one of the prominent secondary schools in Kingston, I was put right back at the salary of someone who had just left college after all those years in education," he noted. Smith also noted that the shortage resources in schools adds to the challenges. Teachers often feel discouraged by the lack of support to properly execute their lessons, leading to further frustration. Despite these issues, the JTA president emphasized the importance of international collaboration to address teacher migration. He suggested that Jamaica could create agreements with foreign countries to send teachers abroad for experience while still allowing them to return home after a set period. This would offer teachers greater exposure and help alleviate the teacher shortage. "You can look at a model that creates a net surplus, where we produce enough teachers to make arrangements with some of these countries that are struggling to retain their own teachers. The teachers are able to earn, so we would rotate them. They would go for 5 years and then return to their job," he stated. "The truth is quite clear to see. The problem is with remuneration. When you go and you check in many jurisdictions that are having challenges with teachers, I'm sorry to say it, but remuneration is at the center of those issues," he stated. Meanwhile, Benjamin called for more research on the factors influencing teachers to migrate. "If you look at it from a lopsided approach, you may find you don't have the traction you want, so understand all of that factors is a mix is important," she stated. Agreeing with Benjamin, Simit commended the teacher training institutions across the island, suggesting that the country leverage its resource to form partnership abroad. He argued that this strategic approach could benefit both Jamaica and the countries in need of teachers, while strengthening Jamaica's education sector and creating economic opportunities. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.